At Mimecast, we help organizations work protected by providing the industry's most advanced email and collaboration security. We are proud to be the #1 cybersecurity companion to Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace. My name's Justin White. I'm delighted to take you through the work protected discussion today. Email and collaboration are where work happens and has become our primary work surface. In fact, the largest digital transformation in history came off the back of the global pandemic as IT and security teams accelerated their cloud strategies so they could accommodate all of their remote and now hybrid workforce. In many respects, during this global event designed to separate us, email and collaboration suites have brought us back together. It is the way people communicate and share data. Email and collaboration suites, as found within Microsoft and Google, are fundamentally where work happens today. However, the result is that our work surface harbors the greatest concentration of risk. Because of all the data they hold, productivity suites are as compelling to malicious actors as they are to the organizations who rely upon them. We're seeing patterns of malicious actors focusing on the intersections between communication, people, and data, meaning they're jumping in between Slack, email, Dropbox, Teams, OneDrives, and other tools, increasing their opportunities for deception. But one attack vector is clear, and that is the 91% of breaches start with email. We see the impact of this everywhere, nearly every day, in headlines and front pages across the media outlets. Malicious actors targeting the intersections between people, communications, and data. Human error, a leading cause of inadvertent and sometimes malicious breaches of an organization. Technology fallibility, the failure of technology, the fallibility of our supply chains, the hardware, the software, the data center, and sometimes the cloud go down. Or there was a misconfiguration by the humans that operate them. And the negative consequences for organizations can be profound, from monetary loss, business disruption, reputational damage, and competitive disadvantage, to name just a few. As security teams start to understand the environments that they work in and start to conquer the security challenges, it's no doubt that there are numerous threats that they face, from ransomware and phishing to supply chain impersonation, trying to prevent those threats from ending up in employees' inboxes. Security teams on average are spending more time managing technology than risk, and as a result, spending less time thinking strategically about how to protect their organizations. For many security leaders, this hits home the first time they are called to a board of directors meeting to communicate a risk strategy, or justify a security budget, or define an integrated approach. Most often, security leaders struggle to provide a holistic strategy as they can only articulate the multifaceted perspectives offered by their multiple tools. And then these individual tools don't talk to each other. The gaps between them can be exploited, and attackers have evolved to become much more agile, hyper-specialized, and syndicated. So these teams start to ask themselves questions. Has the security cost and complexity changed year over year? Does the board have a full understanding of the risk, opportunities, and the strategy? Are the solutions aligned and integrated? And how much of the team's time is spent managing technologies? For Mimecast, the strategic question we focus on is how we can work protected and bring down the risk without creating unnecessary complexity. The Mimecast work protected methodology is designed to ensure trusted communications, meaning Mimecast protects communications, validates identities, and removes threats. We're looking to develop savvy people helping them understand the dangers that may lurk inside their mailboxes, and providing them key guidance at the time of infraction. And we're looking to protect the safe data, often the intellectual property that organizations have built up over many years. The X1 platform is built upon three core innovations. Precision detection, which is our security efficacy layer, driven by best-of-breed detection technologies perfected over 20 years. Social graphing, more recently added to understand context and apply AI and machine learning to identify and block never before seen threats. The service fabric, which governs our cloud service, offers scale, granularity, and learnings fueled by the 40,000 organizations, and also serves to track identity as users migrate between email and collaboration suites. Lastly is the data analytics layer, which fuels our threat intelligence and response, providing critical context and telemetry for threat researchers, as well as further hardening the system as it learns your environment. With this high-fidelity threat intelligence at the email layer, Mimecast thought quite a while back, well, why not try and share this with other tools that may be in the environment? Even the initial configuration with Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace benefits from the intelligence that can be provided. But importantly, we can also share this intelligence with other tools that may be being used to protect other assets, such as the endpoint systems, the network, the identity side of things. And then on top of that, we have a full suite of fully integrated solutions that protect communications, people, and data, while simultaneously reducing complexity and risk. Additional functionality serves to enhance your security maturity and creates a trusted bond across the systems. So we saw the stat earlier that 91% of breaches still start with email. What we have found is that 61% of attacks caught by Mimecast's AI-powered credential protection layer were advanced phishing attacks targeting Microsoft 365 credentials. And back in 2020, 4% of these emails were delivered as safe by Microsoft E5 security. As we've moved into 2023, that figure has risen from 4% to almost 12%. And Mimecast rejects 300% more malware in emails originating from legitimate Microsoft 365 domains and IPs compared to 2021. So this leads us to believe that email deserves more. It's a highly valuable collaboration tool, which is often entwined into many parts of the business processes. And in order to do this, Mimecast has two deployment methodologies that customers can take advantage of. You may be wanting to take advantage of the full cloud gateway, or more recently, we've released the cloud integrated product, which means that you don't have to actually have an MX record change. You can use some of the Microsoft routing policies, and you can get your protections in place in a very simple and quick manner. It's important to remember, however, that all environments are different. So if these areas interest you, let's get in contact with us, and we'd love to understand your requirements in more detail. And then we can have a great discussion to agree whether the gateway model or the cloud integrated model is the best deployment for yourselves. Thanks for your time today, and look forward to talking to you soon.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks to Justin for putting that together. I have put in the chat that feel free to provide any questions that you may have following that presentation in the chat. Alternatively, you should be able to unmute yourself and ask any questions to Brian and I as they come up. Happy to answer them either way, depending on what your preference is.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like a lot of systems, Mimecast, you can put domain whitelist and blacklist in. So if you are experiencing attacks from a specific domain, you could actually set up a blacklist there to prevent any further attacks from that domain. Would be one way of doing it. It obviously depends on the attack, but that would certainly be the first one that comes to mind. How quickly can Mimecast be set up now? And I think that's quite relevant, as was mentioned in the presentation. They've now got the cloud integrated version. So depending on what functionality, as always with these things, the new cloud integrated version does make it much faster to set things up. As Justin hinted at in the video, you no longer need to change DNS MX records for your provider. So you can just set up the Mimecast integration with your Microsoft 365 environment and straight away start benefiting from it. So it becomes quite a quick, easy solution. But to say, it does depend on the features you need. The traditional security gateway still gives you the full protection. It gives you much more capabilities. But Mimecast are definitely improving with the cloud integrated version all the time. So it can be quite a quick time to protection now.
Yeah, we can also set up a free trial using that method as well, the cloud integrated product, because of the fact that it's easier to set up. It's a matter of minutes, and it allows Mimecast to gather some data on your environment, provide some reporting, and ultimately they're looking to try and show the value in the solution within your environment. So if anyone is interested in that, please let us know, and we can have a chat with yourselves and Brian, and we can then look to set that up as well if cloud integrated is the right way for you guys to go. So thanks, Alberto. What is our relationship with Mimecast? So I mean, we're a long-standing Mimecast partner. We're actually one of very few elite partners in the UK. We've been working with them for probably 15 plus years.
I'd say over 15 years, yeah.
Yeah, and from our point of view, we've got a strategic partnership with Mimecast. We can offer a number of services, be it the reseller services via Mimecast and the traditional software to deployment, also a managed service wrap as well around that. So we can provide that as a managed service offering, and also the professional services and the management of those environments we can help you with as well. So we've got a long-standing relationship with the team there. Another one from Paolo: how do we deal with false positives, Brian?
Okay,
Thanks,
yes,
Paolo.
that's an interesting one, yeah. Yeah, false positives. I mean, to be honest with you, with Mimecast, we see probably a lot less false positives than with some of the other vendors, to be honest with you. But it's like any solution of this type. You will tune the solution. It's not something you set and forget. You put this solution in, and you will tune it for your environment. But so, to be honest, Mimecast does seem to be very good with the technology they use. Generally, if they think an email is malicious or is spam or things like that, generally it is. But yeah, so there's a sliding scale. So what you'll find is that users can see quarantined emails, and what we do ourselves internally, we have daily digest emails where you can see there's 2 or 3 emails that maybe have been quarantined that are possibly spam, for example. And to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, it is correct. They are spam. They're undesirable emails. But yeah, when you look at those as a user level, Mimecast is deemed that they're not dangerous, they're not malicious, but they're probably spam. At that point, the end user can select whether they want to release those, whether they want to mark them as spam, whether they want to block them. So that then builds up in the background, and those emails will be treated as such going forward. But yeah, it's tuning, but as I say, out the box, it is pretty good, to be honest with you. So thanks, Pat.
As an end user myself, it's a very intuitive end user experience in order to, address those emails that are quarantined or held, and then get them released or block them. So
we have another in-person Optimise event coming up next month, which is going to be at Gray's Inn in London. And so what I can do, I can also put a link in the chat for that. So I recommend you sign up and have a look. So we'll actually be there in person.
I mean, that's had a fantastic sign up rate already, and it's going to be a security focused event as well. So there'll be more of our security vendors available on the day, and I think it should be a fantastic event in person as well. Nice to get out of the office and a fantastic venue at the Gray's Inn. So yeah, we'd love to see as many of you there as possible, really.
Apparently, just asking about privacy from the service. Trying to understand what you mean by privacy. Privacy from what? Obviously, your data is all secured. Obviously, only individual end users can see their own emails unless you're an administrator. I mean, corporate information, it's all stored. And it's unusable storage. So only administrators with the appropriate rights can see anything in there. So the security is very, very good. But say by default, you can only see your own mailbox data. It's all very well protected there. So it is a full corporate service. It's designed for corporates. It's not designed for end users, individuals or anything like that. I mean, one of the key things within Mimecast, it's always been one of the big things for us, I think, at Espria, is there's also an archiving option. And the way it works with the gateway is that emails, as they're received from the outside world, are archived at that point. So it's an immutable archive. So those emails are stored as they are received from the outside world before they've even been delivered to the end user's mailbox. So there's no risk at all of any sort of tampering or modification or anything by the user. The email is how it was delivered to your organization. So that can be used, even a court case if need be, because that is an immutable backup.
Yeah, we have actually had customers who have needed to use emails that have been archived in Mimecast in court and in various commercial disputes as well, and having that immutable archive and being able to prove that no one was able to tamper with that has in some cases saved them 6 or 7 figures in terms of the potential financial risk around some of those maybe contractual obligations or a legal case. So it's been used in anger and it's very, very effective as well. So if there are any further questions that you haven't thought to ask now and they jump out later on, then feel free to contact us and we'll endeavour to answer those. And equally, if you do want us to follow up with a conversation with Brian regarding either the traditional gateway product or cloud integrated and the options around that, and particularly potentially the cloud integrated free trial that we can set up quite quickly, then please reach out and let us know. Happy to facilitate that and get that moving for you. So lastly, thank you to everyone for giving up their time today and joining Brian and I to talk about Mimecast and how they prevent phishing and protect your email.